There are lots of ways to glue a top on. I don't know if this is the best way, but it is one way and it does work. There are going to be 30 of these L hooks. The more the better, but this amount seems to be good enough. Lots of ways to level the top, but a wide sanding board is as effective as any of them. Two 26-inch bicycle tubes cut into a spiral, a tedious process, makes a good way to make a long rubber band for tying down the top. You'll notice that these book-matched sides are not put in book-matched, and the reason for that is I needed to keep an inside edge that was bad after having been stored for 44 years, so they ended up this way. I've got to lock down the end so it doesn't slide around while I'm trying to bungee it down. I used a leather punch to punch a hole in the end of the inner tube, and it just slipped over one of the L hooks. All you need is two 26-inch bicycle tubes and some L hooks. I shall leave this overnight and then unwrap it tomorrow. This is the back that we glued up in a previous episode. This is a strip of spruce from the guitar top. It's cross-grained and glued across the glued up seams on the back to give it some strength. Couldn't help it, just slipped the neck in the mortise just to see what it looked like. The back braces have to have some of the bottom cut off so that the back has an arch to it. This differential here is about 1/8 of an inch. And even though these two are straight lines, when I finally take the wood down, it will be in an arch.
And it'll be kind of done by eye, but the lines are a guideline for that. This bar will go here. This one is here. They're about roughly a quarter of the distance. So we'll go right about here. So they're kind of like that. Now, these back braces are done in different ways. Notice these are put vertically, these are flat. Sometimes these are put vertically too, and I've seen it done so many different ways. I do it this way, no particular reason. It's just one way of doing it, and these will all be formed with a plane and sanded down afterwards. So off to arching these. I think I'll do them on the belt sander. For me, that's the easiest one. I don't know if you can see the curve on this or not. But it's an 1/8 inch from here to the middle. These are the flat ones. There's also an 1/8 inch tape here.
Marking the locations of the 4 back braces before I glue them on. Pieces of the back batten have to be taken out so that the braces can sit flat on the back of the guitar.
This is where the braces will go, and all I've got to do now is to clean up a little bit and then glue them on. Interesting side note, these chisels, along with the dividers you've seen me use and the calipers, they look old is because they are. Back in 1977, I know exactly when it is because I know when I finished college and I know when I bought these, about that year. I came across an old guy in his 80s, and he was in Rockport, which is a seafaring community in halfway up the coast of Maine. I'm in the southern end of Maine here. And he was a boat builder. And he had a whole lot of tools, and what he was doing is he was selling them. And these tools he got when he was a young man. And so, you know, that would put him maybe in his 20s. So he lived with them for 60 years. And then I picked them up a little over 40 years ago. So these tools are at least 100 years old. They've been very good. I put new handles on some. This is an original handle. This is another one I put on from another chisel. But the tools have sharpened good, and the steel has been really quite hard. And even though they're antique, they really served me well. I'm not a big chisel user anymore. I used to do a lot of hand work and making furniture. But now I have a lot of power tools. I'm a big proponent of them. Even though the hand tool purism thing is wonderful, I really approve of it. But I just need to get things done. I don't have the patience I used to wait. So just a big side note: 100-year-old tools. I've got several artifacts in the shop here, like this from that guy, and can imagine if these tools would talk, what they'd tell. The guy used to make boats, dinghies, things like that, all out of wood, which is a popular, used to be anyway, a popular thing down there as a craft.
The back isn't clamped to the workboard. It's glued to meet the arch of each of the braces.
Well, these are all glued on, and I'm going to put them aside now and let them dry.
The grain on the tail block goes from left to right horizontally. If the guitar is dropped, it can crack, so some luthiers will glue a hardwood strip that's vertical grained across it to help give it some strength. I'm one that does that. And now the kerf on the back side, just like I did on the front, and with all the clothespins and alligator clips, and that little tooth that's missing down at the bottom on the front side, I will fill that in before this whole thing is over with.